Jérémie Trépanier. Trépanier. Yeah. How's it going, man?
I'm good. Yourself?
Very good, very good. Yeah, thanks for coming on to the podcast, man. We're really stoked to have you, honestly.
It's a pleasure.
I'm
excited.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Thanks for taking the time out of your day. One of the things I've been wanting to ask you, as what I ask a lot of musicians as well, is I kind of want to know a bit about your journey, is how you started even to play music. Because I think the foundation is one of the most important things, right?
Right.
So,
well, I started taking guitar lessons. I was 7 years old. So
7 years old, that's pretty young.
And my sister was already taking piano lessons at the time. And I even remember where I was. I was in the car with my mom. I believe it was my mom. And she asked me, Jay, would you like to take guitar lessons? I said, yeah. And then nonchalantly just said yes, and not really knowing what that was going to imply, just a life-changing moment. And I just fell in love with it. And yeah, I took only took lessons for like 3 or 4 years with the late Sylvain Drapeau. I love the guy.
Amazing, yeah.
Dearly miss him, yes. And passed away a few years ago. And he was like, I was thinking about him specifically on my way here, and because I kind of saw that coming, the question coming, and man, like also thinking about the cancel culture today, like he like the way he taught me, it was rough, man. Like,
okay, he'd be stern and kind of direct,
I would, because I'm a teacher as well now, right? So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I give private lessons, the same type of lessons I got when I was 7 years old.
Okay, interesting.
And the way he acted, the way he cussed at me and all that, it's like that would never go in today's times. It's just funny to think about it. But
I see what you mean, but it developed you in a way, like.
Yeah. Then again, it didn't discourage me. It's weird. Fair. I think it felt like your dad giving you a lesson, like, and not being like so patient. And
well, my father never gave me any lessons at all because I never knew the guy.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's funny. It's really funny. Sometimes some people feel like uncomfortable. I'm totally chill with it. Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, so to me that was kind of the dynamic, but I would never, lose my patience like that, or even because it was, I get disappointed, and sometimes I get fed up of, students coming in and, they didn't practice, they didn't do their homework and all that. Cause it's just, you're the only one who who's
That's
paying
exactly
the price.
it.
Like I'm getting paid, I'm doing my job. And obviously for that half hour or that hour that we spend together, it's not going to be as fun as if you had done your
your energy into it. And I've taught a bit, and I've taught kids, and sometimes it can be so daunting. You're just sitting there and you're like trying to teach them, and they're like, they're completely distracted, or they're not in it at all. So I completely understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and you can kind of understand it's like being a child, and that's why, but it's also like accountability too. You're like, hold yourself accountable if you want to learn guitar,
Right. Where I'm pretty sure I was different from my experience and from the other kids that I see. But every now and then, you'll come across a kid that is special, right? Well, they're all special, but
they're all special on their own way.
Yeah, but like I'm talking like alert and conscientious, about they're there, some kids, depending on their age and all that, and it's okay. Like I was listening to another podcast where they explain how as you get older, it kind of like it evens out as far as your cognitive ability, basically.
Right.
But like sometimes, the younger kids, you can tell like, oh, they're being well stimulated and all that, without getting into the technical stuff too much. But what I think is really frustrating is it's when the kid is, he's there and he wants to learn, but he doesn't practice. So it's like super hardworking with me, and it gets me frustrated because then I'll give him something to do for the week and I know he's not going to do it. And it feels like we're just back to square one every single time. So that kind of gets on my nerves.
And I'm sure that frustration, like a lot of that stems from like the fact that you care though. Like it's the fact that you're like, you see, especially when you say that they actually do show the drive when they're around you, like it's like they show passion in it. So
with all due respect though, it's like, kid, I could use my time differently right now. That's the other side of it. So can you not waste my time? It's kind of the approach.
100%.
It's hard to convey that message to a kid because a kid is like they're so.
I never say that, by the way.
Yeah, they just
like so bluntly and
well,
so
no,
but it's
of course not.
It's true though.
yeah, but that's the thing. And you know what? I didn't practice as a kid.
There you go.
That's the thing. Yeah. So well, actually, okay,
the irony
that is a lie. That is a lie.
It's irony.
I'll tell you.
You did, but like you had your times.
I think what got him frustrated is that I stopped practicing because I would do like my parents never. Some come from a musical family, and then you're not in the gang if you're not a musician.
You're not musical, yeah.
That's not at all the vibe here. Like my parents didn't force me to practice. We're talking. I'm 7 years old. I'm starting to. Well, I guess you start reading at 5 or 6, but like just a kid, an hour and a half every single night, just in my books, just practicing. And don't you dare come listen to me if I'm not ready to show it to you. It's like I'm in my little bubble, and it needs to be perfect. And it reminded me in some way of Legos, and I want to make the connection real quick.
I fucking love Legos back in the day.
Sweet.
Man.
It was.
Gotta say that.
Oh yeah, and Nick as well. Nick is the lead singer in my band. I'm in a band.
Nick
Loyer.
Nick Loyer.
Yeah, I'm in a band.
I knew Nick when
A leverage for mountains, correct?
Right, leverage for mountains.
Oh, sorry, I
it's
added
not
the A at the
leverage?
end.
Yeah, we took out the A.
Okay,
we're
I like
talking
that. I like that.
weeks ago.
So for the people listening, we're gonna if it's cool with you, we can link Leverage for Mountains in the description.
sure.
Okay, yeah.
For sure.
So they have really good, awesome music. I mean, I've heard you guys' music. I actually really I actually appreciate it, especially as like a folk kind of like. I don't even know. It's like folk, but there's some pop element into it. It's like very.
There's lots of people have been saying there's a lot of country in there. Like,
Yeah, well, country,
Absolutely.
folk, but like singer songwriter,
Very
and
roots
like, but
style.
the harmonies is on par. Like
Yeah.
you guys must obviously take hours and practice like that
Yeah.
specific thing, or maybe over time it just developed. But something I noticed,
And we've talked about that before, like just like loving vocal harmonies, and that was one thing I loved about you guys stuff. Yeah,
that's the mojo. That's what we like doing as
that's
well.
the creme fraiche.
yeah, for sure. Well, I just got back from seeing them, and we had different discussions about the branding and all that, because that was part of like the plan right now is new music's coming out this year. It's ready, and it's just trying to do your best to work out a marketing strategy, a plan, because all that effort, in studio and before that as well, writing the songs and all that. But then if you put no effort or no plan or even no budget in your marketing, you can't expect to make a big hit out of it or actually let it be heard, right?
What would be some tactics that you use for marketing?
Well, first off, we
I'm
we're
just
working.
curious.
We're working with. She's awesome. Her name is Geneviève. Oh, I might get this wrong. Geneviève Richard, I believe. Yeah, I think it's Richard, her last name, or Richer.
Okay,
I'm terrible with names. I just know her as Jen, and she's awesome, man. Like she takes care of everything. So
Really?
we worked out a contract with her, and right now we're in the whole concept. Creating a concept for the album, because then your promotional images online, whether it's Instagram or all the social.
Does she handle like Instagram and stuff like that? Or?
Yeah, she'll do she'll format everything. For
Oh,
you.
wicked.
Yeah, and then she'll listen to the songs and then look at the pros and cons of going in the direction where or going in the other one, do you want your face on the record, you know, or not? Stuff like
And
that.
seeing it from a third person perspective is also
Right.
very like beneficial.
It was fun. Like she pointed out things we didn't know and things that were so obvious that we didn't realize. And yeah, it was awesome. She kind of analyzed each and every, because we're three, right? So she analyzed the three as a band, but also like the three individuals and how to make our personas kind of stick out, or like, you know.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So it's really
like shine a light on you individually, but you guys are a unit at the end of the day as well. So
and she's awesome. Every time we had to sit down with her for like an hour or so, it was we came out of the meetings like just mind blown.
That's
Really?
awesome.
Yeah.
And- Oh, and sorry, I just I found out that like 2016 you had the Essence project was like the EP that you guys released. Like, did you have her on board for that, or like what do you see maybe differently also with like the approach to the new album that you learned from that one?
Well, it's night and day, right? Like it's like the Essence project was literally just Nick and I going all in on our own, you know, self-produced.
All self-produced. Cool.
Yeah. So
Okay.
like even like Flynn's on the record. Flynn's he's the drummer / percussionist, and you know, the third member of the band. He was added to the group. I think it was in like late 2017, but initially he was like a side musician. You know, we hired him, and we met him it was like 2 months before we went in studio for the Essence project. Yeah. And so he was learning the songs as he was recording, literally. And
That's dope.
Yeah. And well, a bit reckless if you ask me now.
I see what you mean. Yeah. And when you want to hold yourself to higher standards as you progress. Yeah.
Right. And then, yeah, the Essence project for me, like the way I see it now is like, we wanted to create that kind of universe where we wanted to recreate what happened in late 2014, where we just like that's why I love the name, by the way, Cabin in the Clearing, because it reminds me of going up that. Yeah, I love it. It's so inspiring because it reminds me of leaving with Nick. You know, I'm 17 and he's 22, and we started jamming right after I graduated from high school. Actually, we started having those weekly jam sessions. And so I kind of really appreciate the fact that we created there was a musical bond before a friendship. And I think that was like the most important part, because
That's wicked, dude.
That's very interesting. Yeah.
yeah, because my uncle Joseph, he's another great musician. Man, he's
Really?
awesome.
Your uncle?
Oh yeah, Joseph Crawley.
What is he? Is he a guitar player?
Yeah.
Oh
Also,
man,
like
you must
he
be
can
so
play.
lucky to have an uncle who's like just. Is he good?
Yeah, he's like stupid good.
Really?
Stupid good. Yeah,
And
and
he's
he's way too humble, right? Like as great musicians are, I think. But
Man, you should bring him over one day to jam.
for sure, he's in his 60s, so maybe
Whatever.
we'll start jamming a little sooner.
Yeah.
But earlier into the day. But yeah, he's also a great harmonica player.
Does he play blues and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's got those
Sick.
jazz little, like he can. For me, it's the way. I really do believe his fingers cannot. They can't go as fast as his mind, like his ideas, because he'll sing anything and then he'll just play it note for note. He's got that musical mind where it's like, with the age, I don't know if his chops, because he doesn't really care about his chops anymore.
Yeah.
So he's more of he calls himself a bedroom player. He's a very shy person, so he's not into performing live or anything, right?
Really?
But the band did invite him a couple of times, you know, to play harmonica on certain songs. And
sick.
people,
Cool, dude.
you know, he just comes out of the crowd. This is a little big beard, no
Yeah,
hair.
dude.
It's just comes on stage and it just rips it, and then people just go crazy. And I love
crazy.
the family aspect of it is
sure.
really fun, right? You invite your uncle on stage and then he just kills it.
Oh, man.
Which I don't think it happened at Live on Elgin, and I don't know if you were the man behind the board.
I was gonna say I do remember mixing you guys. Like I do remember
Yeah,
seeing your
he's
name.
like the full-time
I'm
live
pretty
on
sure.
Elgin,
You were the one
Sound guy.
behind the board on that gig, right?
I think so. I'm pretty confident. Like that sounds familiar as well.
That night we were with Stéphane Coulombe on the guitar.
Stéphane Coulombe, man. Well, he's the one. He's actually.
He's ridiculous.
He's the one who he refretted my Stratocaster.
Yeah.
I put.
I hope I was working that night. I don't know because I remember seeing your name that shift, but I might be wrong.
But yeah, no, I met Stéphane Coulombe a long time ago when I was younger, and then I think I jammed with him like maybe once, and it was at a Dagio.
Yeah.
And so he plays. He's a left-handed player. Sorry,
on
but he plays
on a right-hand
guitar, and he plays
strings
upside down.
Yeah.
Kind of like Eric Gales.
One
I don't
of
know
the
if you
best
guys know Eric
players.
Gales.
Yeah.
He's nuts though, man.
Oh, Albert
Stéphane,
King as well, right? Am I mistaken?
No, you're not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Sir,
okay.
are we talking right-handed guitar, left-handed strung upside down?
So left hand player.
The story goes,
yeah,
with the right
kind of
hand
like Hendrix,
guitar.
right? Like Hendrix did that,
Yeah, but
right?
Hendrix played
No.
in standard tuning.
Yeah.
The strings are upside down.
Oh, he actually played upside down. That's
Yeah,
right.
like
So
the
it
strings
goes
are
high
reversed.
E to
Yeah,
low.
right,
Oh,
exactly.
That's right. Okay.
And the
so-
story goes
Which
that
is more fucked up.
Stéphane's father is in the Country Hall of Fame.
What?
Really?
Canadian Country Hall.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he's
Really?
like a wicked good player, and I think Stéphane's better. But then Stéphane will always, look up to his dad, right?
Well, for sure.
And he told me that his father had like 12 guitars or so hanging on the wall, right? And he asked to learn, and for some reason, I guess the time, he didn't want to teach him. He didn't want to show him guitar, and then so Stéphane picked up a right-handed guitar, but he was left-handed, and so he just learned. He's self-taught basically, which which makes plenty of sense because no one would teach you how to play with the strings upside down.
Yeah, like they wouldn't start off that way. They would be
Which makes him an awesome banjo player and mandolin player because they're tuned in fifths, right? So that's his world.
That's incredible.
Right.
That's crazy.
And he needed, but because banjos, they have that high G string, and he's left-handed. It was in a way. So this is on a side note. He had to actually make a hole in the neck of the guitar, the banjo, so the string could go, and he could tune it up there. But then it's complicated. It's complicated to explain, but he's my go-to luthier. Like
No,
I don't
me too.
trust anyone else.
Me too. He like I was saying earlier, he refretted my Stratocaster to put on like 6,000 fret wire essentially. So he's the one who did that job. He did a great job.
Oh yeah.
And I plan on going to
Yo,
see him.
shout
I'm
out,
going to
man.
change my pickups
It's dope.
in my Strat. I'm going to put like some 1959 replicas in a Stratocaster for a thicker tone. But yeah, he's definitely going to be the guy for sure that I'm going to go see.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
That's so sick.
He's really busy though. Like he's working right now with another luthier, Luc. So it might not be him working on your guitar. Like just on a side note, but he's an awesome player. So we had him at Live on Elgin, and on the bass was his like longtime buddy Tyler Woods.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I
Do you
think
remember the
it's
date
Wood.
of this? Of the show?
You know what? I think I do. I think it was like October 12th, 2018.
Okay. 2018.
Hey, don't ask me why.
Okay, that was a while ago because I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say I usually follow the bands I mix, and I was like, I've clearly followed you guys, but I've seen your music anyway, so it's like I probably followed you anywhere. But I was like, I wonder if I worked that show because I've definitely seen you play either way. But and speaking of which, actually, I saw one of my favorite ones that I was watching was the Memories Live Off the Floor, like the Audio Valley Live Off the Floor.
Audio Valley.
Yeah, do you remember?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Oh my god, like just again going back to vocal harmonies and stuff, like and just that song itself really like hit home. Like it was just lyrically and everything. And
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's the one that Nick is most proud of. Like, as in, it's super simple, right? But I love the innocence in it.
yeah, that's what I mean. I got a
Yeah.
very good, like genuine kind of I guess
Nostalgic.
homey kind of nostalgic. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And obviously the upbeat and someone told me, F you for freaking writing a song in that open E position, right? Because lots of people love to play these chords, but you don't always get the opportunity to. Well, I told him just pick up your guitar and write a song with those chords, right? But it's just super simple chords where you just move your fingers.
And what's funny is I totally understand that idea of like being a musician and having like a standard though. It's like even though the song's cool and people like the song, you're still like, it's not my favorite one because I was watching the Hot Ones interview with John Mayer and he talks about that at one point. He's like, all those 4-chord kind of like pop songs. He's like, for the fans. And he's like, I like playing them, but he's like, that's for the fans.
Yeah.
He's like, all the crazy, like, bizarre chord, like stretch finger shit. He's like, that's for me.
I mean, you see, if you look at John Mayer's, he did a live in LA in 2007 where the light is or whatever. And like he's playing Hendrix, like he's playing Power of Soul, you know. He's playing on a Strat and like he's just making it sound like Hendrix, like it's nuts. He's a really good musician in my opinion.
Oh,
man.
Well, if we want to jump into John Mayer, we can gladly do so. It's like he's the reason. Well, so the story goes that eventually it wasn't cool playing music in my school, anyways. In the kids I was around,
Really?
yeah, in like where we're talking elementary school. So, but still, you know,
Oh, interesting.
yeah, and that was enough for me to. I think it was partly why I stopped practicing. It's like it wasn't cool. Because
That's unfortunate,
I have
man.
Yeah, I know.
If you think about it, that's very unfortunate.
It could have. Yeah,
I agree.
It could have been worse, but then obviously, I still do it today. So I'll it gets better. So I have this classical background, right? And it's not cool to play classic and all that. So I stopped practicing. Teacher was screaming at me, all that stuff, because it was sports, right? And I'm also a sports, I love sports, and I've been playing sports longer actually than I've been playing music, and maybe not, I don't know, but
Roughly the same.
Roughly, yeah,
Sports,
pretty
what
much.
kind of sports.
Oh, I'm a big hockey fan.
Really?
Played
So you're a hockey
yeah.
player?
Yeah.
Really?
I
Did you play
started
with,
playing hockey. I was 8 years old.
Did you play with Joe? Joe Pack? That's Joe.
No.
No, you didn't play with him.
No.
Oh, interesting. Because he's a hockey guy too. He loves the shit. He watches it all day.
Oh yeah. I played. I had a few basketball years in high school as well, and soccer when I was younger. But anyways, the side of the point, it was more cool to play sports, right? So I stopped playing guitar, and we're talking like grade 5 or 6, right? It's no big deal. But then again, so here comes the point where, if it wasn't for my sister, who is in the music program in Nicolas Gatineau, the high school I went to, then I wouldn't have gone there. But there was also, at the time, there was, oh my God, what's his name? Bernard Hébert. He won a Juno Award in 2009, I believe, for Best Music Teacher of the Year.
Oh, wow. Cool.
In Canada, right? So it's like...
And where was he teaching?
Nicolas Gatineau, the music
I didn't know
program.
they had a music. Such a good. It was a good.
It was renowned because of him, basically.
Amazing.
Yeah, he
Really?
taught there for like, I think it's like 30 or 40 years, right? Or maybe that's a lot. I don't know. Oh, maybe that makes sense.
You never know.
30 years
Yeah.
could make sense, right? So anyways, I decided to go there. And like everybody was kind of surprised, because she was naming the kids and what program. And Jeremy, you want to go in music? He's like, yes. And I later heard that in a different school, in a different elementary school, some of my friends that were in the music program, they were asked to stand up and everybody applaud because it was a big thing for them to go to the music program. So it's like, you see how sometimes, different school will treat arts differently, but it's whatever. I don't know why in my mind, it was the summer of me graduating from elementary school to high school that my mom told me, there's this guy I want to show you. I think you really like him. And she put on Any Given Thursday, the first live performance DVD of John Mayer. And
nice.
I'm just there staring. I would be 12 years old at the time. And I'm just staring. And it's like, baggy jeans, faded, funny looking t-shirt. And he's just killing it, right? And the front row of, the girls screaming. And I'm like, oh, I could be this guy. So in this universe, you can be that. Then okay, I know what I'm gonna do.
He's up there chilling. He's just
he's not just chilling. He's killing it.
Killing it, but chilling.
Yeah.
While
Awesome
killing
songs, and he's just. And then people are singing back the lyrics to him. It's like, oh man, that's wicked.
Yeah.
So it made me fall in love with the guitar again, especially because I think that's like one of the reasons I was not into the guitar as much. I think it's like I wasn't connecting to classical music as much. The chart is that's what you got to play and that's it. No interpretation. No. whereas like jazz,
Yeah.
you can improv. It's like
Yeah.
your take on it, you know.
Yeah.
Even doing a cover of a standard, of a jazz standard, it's still your approach to it, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be note for note the same thing. Where it's like classical, it's like, you know, if it's this note at this time with this type of intention, the composer wants you to do that, so you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
It's
part
usually
where,
written that
but
way,
I
like-
really like, as a teacher now, I love the what would be the word, you know, I love how you got it or you don't, because then once in a while you'll get a student, oh yeah, but that's what I want to do. It's like, yeah, but you're playing wrong, kid. So I love that from classic, right? It's like you got it or you don't.
Yeah.
But then
Very cut and dry.
yeah, right.
cutthroat
So
for
there's
sure.
no place for interpretation, where it's got its pros and cons, right?
100%.
But that kind of initially what kind of made me fall out of the passion of, you know, practicing and all that. But then John Mayer, yeah, he's the reason I'm doing this today, right?
That's great. Actually, I love that.
I thought it was funny you mentioned him because
No
I thought
kidding.
maybe he knows already. So like, yeah,
I did some digging.
yeah, right. You can find pretty much anything right now.
Yeah,
do,
no kidding.
I do want to take the opportunity to say for everybody who's listening / watching that we are sponsored by Kayo-Tea, Mitigoman Agriculture. You'll find the link in the description.
There's none left. I drank.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And
so
so
good.
that's one of the things that we do is we have people whenever we have guests or whatever, we feed them tea essentially. So, and then they give us their
Barely
take on
have
it.
Yeah, get them nice and calm, and
I,
then
I kind of wanted to kind of ask you, like, so we get a little bit of a background here, and then so what about how did like leverage for
Yeah, you got it.
leverage for mountains?
Yeah.
How did that project kind of initiate? And you said you were jamming with Nick, right? If I
Yeah.
understood correctly, and then you guys kind of became friends after. That's an interesting. Normally,
Right.
You're friends, and then you start a project together in a way.
Well,
right?
yeah.
It's-
So
not all
after-
the time, but
with
a lot
high
of the
school,
time.
I made friends that were into music, right?
Oh,
so now,
okay, I
falling
see.
in love again with the music, and they're asking me to play all sorts of songs that I didn't really know, or I knew a bit from Guitar Hero, because Guitar Hero came out at that time, right? So we were a big fan of the game, and learning "Carry On My Wayward Son" and "Crazy on You" by heart. You know,
those are
that's
literally
kind of
some of my favorite ones.
But
to play.
then the classical background that I had made it so easy. Like fingerstyle picking was like second nature. So that was a big thing. But then talking about going back to my uncle and all that, he's the one who told me your relationship with your musicians must be stronger off stage than on stage, because then it'll show.
Oh,
So that's the point where,
That's a great point.
yeah,
He
so
must have been a good influence
And
on you.
I told Nick, like, we gotta kind of do some team building. You know, you'll do that with the hockey team. You know, we gotta work on our relationship as, you know, being friends as well, so that we can connect even more with the music and all that. But initially, and then my first point was on that was I don't want to make a band with my friends from high school. And it sounds a bit cold, you know, when you're 17, but it's like, yeah, but if we get into not trouble, but like well, first off, it's not because you're my friend that you want to play the same genre or you want to play the same things, right?
yeah,
So
I experienced that for
that
sure.
would be
with my high
like
school.
point number one is, you know, agreeing on what style of music, and
Right.
if you're friends with people that are into the same things as you, like, perfect. But for me, that was the main issue. They were into more like hard rock, even like heavy metals types of music, which, you know, I'm all good for it, especially if you're, you know, gaming or you know, killing people online with the video games. Heavy metal is cool. I like it, but it's not my go-to. Like, that's not what, obviously with the John Mayer background, that was not the kind of music I wanted to create myself. And then the second point would be, if something happens and you kind of, you know, shit hits the fan, you don't have a band and you don't have any friends anymore. So I figured if something
point.
needs to happen with the
point.
band, then I still have my friends. But then here I am, 25. My band is they're basically my only friends. I have a few friends left. But it's like, so
That's the musician's life.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
god,
like, that's it.
Nah, it's just funny.
that's so funny.
So that was the initial, the initial idea for me. The genre issue is the big one, but also like I want to have, my circle of friends and then my professional career that I wanted to, because that's the other thing. When you start jamming with your friends, and obviously there's nothing wrong with having a beer, but I was gonna say, we'll start drinking beer and having fun. But at some point when you want to do that, you kind of have to fake it till you make it, and so take yourself a bit seriously when you're rehearsing as well.
I actually, honestly, I very much agree with that.
Pleasure, it's a fine line.
it's
Pleasure
like-
and
it's
and
like almost like-
actually being a legit hardworking musician. Yeah,
Totally,
you're 100%
and
right.
and reward yourself. Give yourself those times to sit back and drink and have a good time with your buddies. But like, just always make sure that if you're actually looking towards this, is like, okay, this is a career option, or is this something I want to do on a daily? It's like you got to take it a little. Like I used to have those kind of things too, where people would like, and it's no big deal. Like I'd still have fun jamming, but they'd show up like always like kind of 30 minutes to an hour late, but I'd always have like a 2-hour window, and it's like, no, I want to like get the songs down,
Yeah, and then you mentioned balance, and that's something we've discussed recently. With the band, it's like we're so into the our work, and it's always like practice, and we realized maybe we should have just an hour or two, or even less, like even if it's 30 minutes that we just chill. We start hanging out together again, and doing stuff other than music, because it was like, especially in the last 2 years, we haven't had a chance to do shows or anything, basically none of them, right? So it was work, yeah, since COVID and all that shit.
All right.
So obviously we took the opportunity to work on new songs and all that, but as of recent, we've been trying to take the time to do other things and chill sometimes.
It's super important, man.
So
I agree.
back to the story. So graduating from high school, I meet this guy named Nick, and we started jamming, and we really liked the music that was coming out of there. And back then he was in a blues rock type of duo, and he would sing like those very high notes, but not more like Robert Plant, kind of that
kind of style of singing.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's super cool, and he can sing, man. Nick can pull out those big notes, like the chest voice, big notes.
Really?
But, oh yeah, he can definitely.
I haven't seen him sing like other than your guys' project, to be honest.
Right, exactly, which is more like a more refined, especially like obviously the lyrics, but like the harmonies,
Almost more controlled.
Right, definitely more controlled. But you would love to hear him. Like sometimes we'll do a cover or two in a show, right? And then we love to make him sing. We'll have him sing "Give Me One Reason," which is a very simple song, but he can start
Nice.
whipping them right out of the park. But he'll go with the chest voice. It's just it's got the blues flair, and it's really, really cool. But anyway, so we started jamming, not writing songs or anything. Just I and back then, like even at 17 years old, I would know something like 200 to 300 covers. I would just know a bunch of covers, and he was into songwriting and improvising. Not exactly songwriting, but more like improvising. So I would play chords, and he would just start like, because he was initially a rapper.
No way.
Yeah.
Love that.
He was called himself Misunderstood, and he would laugh like maybe he's not happy I'm telling this story right now, but he's a rapper initially. So and then I want to go back to the Lego story, because for me it made sense to have the classical sheet of music and the notes. That was a code, and you needed to get it right. The same way I love my Legos for the plan. And, my dad's a welder, and, there's a plan and you got to do it. You got to make it right. And for me, that was my way of hitting the target and doing something and feeling accomplished, right? So for as far as Legos, I needed to. I wasn't into a big box of Legos and just building stuff. I needed a plan, and the new set of Lego, and you do it and you do it right. Whereas on the other hand, Nick, that's what he loved. He loved Legos as well. But he told me that it was a big box of all kinds
random
of
pieces.
Yeah, and he would build stuff.
Yeah.
So to me, it makes plenty of sense psychologically how he's a lot more into creating new songs, and I'm about structure, especially because of John Mayer. I'm a big fan of lyrics. I love song structures and how you construct a song, like the B section. Where does it go? The bridge. Is there a bridge? You don't need a bridge. And then breaking rules, and then mix and match.
Totally.
And we were a perfect match in that sense because he would come up with new ideas all the time. And he, don't ask him to play an A minor. He doesn't know what that is. He just knows, literally. He's just.
Yeah, I think I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah,
last
right.
time we had a
Like
conversation.
how do you place your fingers? That's how you do it. So I'm into theory a lot more than he is. He doesn't really care about that. He cares about the next song. So, but early on, he didn't really know how to finish them. So he had like 2 or 3 songs that were unfinished. And so it was a perfect match in that sense where I kind of brought in the ethic of, looking at a song and what does it mean and how can we make it better. And then I introduced him to harmonies because that's what I was really into with. That's all my sister right there. Like she pushed me to start singing and then she showed me, we started singing harmonies together. I was probably like 11 years old. So it was second nature already for me at that point. And then Nick, it was really very unnatural for him. So anyways, so the Essence project was basically encapsulating the moment where we were at his parents' house in Val-des-Monts, which is the house on the cover, just writing songs and going deep into the meaning of the lyrics and what kind of the ideas that we wanted to put out, and we wanted to make it as we wanted the less is more approach. So there's like 4 or 5 instruments in there total. Mm-hmm. There's the cello. We love cello. And then the acoustic and classical guitars. But we're a lot more, the new album coming out, the new EP coming out is like a lot more country. It's got the country flair to it. Yeah. It's not like a strategic choice or anything. It's just where the songs led us and what we like to hear and the pedal steel is awesome.
And that's the beauty of it at the end of the day is that's what people will resonate with is what you truly want to put out.
What you want to project.
People,
people definitely I was going to say clue into it, but they key into it, sorry.
Totally.
And I already know that the next one coming is not going to be the same.
Yeah.
Like I can definitely tell you
that's
this.
awesome though. That's creation. And I just really quickly wanted to touch on a point that I thought it was kind of cool that you led back all around full circle about mentioning the cabin and the clearing name too, because I thought it was cool how you had that relation to it because I like the reason I kind of thought of that was I used to jam with some buddies, like the first band I was actually in high school with like Eric and Pat, like way back in the day. I would go out to Low, like out in the middle of the woods, and my buddy lived on like a farmhouse with his parents.
I think I was jamming with you guys.
Yeah, Eric Ewing Meyer, like
that was you and me,
awesome
with,
guy,
Pat
and Pat Bergeron. It was crazy. It was like so long ago, and that's kind of where I like got into actually not just jamming with friends, but like actually sitting, writing music, like doing like you were saying, structuring shit, like that kind of thing. We actually tried to play the Battle of the Bands, at school at the time. But the reason the cabin and the clearing idea popped was that so like he lived on the land in the house, and then like across the field there was this really, really nice barn. And he basically, like, his dad would do all just like carpentry and like woodworking on the bottom level. Yeah, amazing.
Awesome.
Like you walk in and smell like fresh wood. Like, it's so sick. And then you go upstairs, and then the first room on the left was like his mom's art studio.
Like
so she'd have like
a loft.
crazy
So
paintings, like artwork. And this one, I remember this
like
one that was of this woman in like a big dress kind of thing with like flowers, and it was all made with like hand woven. So it was a canvas painting, but it was hand woven knitting. So it was like a knitted painting. Like it was not, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like with fabric, it was wild. Anyway, point being, our spot was in the back. So this hub of like creativity, like it just always gave me like an essence there. Like there was actually going back to essence. Yeah. Like it's like there was a vibe there. And that's why it's like the cabin in the clearing, like this place to like create and like share your ideas and like kind of be genuine about like your music passions and stuff. And like, so it's just really cool that tied back into what you were saying about it. And so I appreciate you bringing that up, man.
Sounds like an awesome place, right?
Right?
Like
we were sitting down too for
Wrote
like
a lot
long
of good
time, like just even coming up with the name. We were having drinks. It was like, I remember it was in this living room too, actually, and we're just like sitting down. We're like, just different names. Okay, let's think of something cool, and like this project even took a full year to actually bring to life. To be honest, so it's been interesting. I'm stoked to see where it goes.
Yeah, I appreciate you having.
Did that, you know? Like? You guys discussed the jams you had at that cabin specifically for the name?
No. Like I didn't even know about that until now.
No,
okay.
yeah.
While we're sitting down,
I know.
We're like, yo, what's our name? And we're coming up with different names. And then it was we came up with like Cabin in the Woods, you know. And then Justin was like the actual one who coined the actual name, like Cabin in the Clearing. But I didn't know until now that he got inspired from that.
It was weird, actually. Yeah, it's weird. I forgot I've never shared that with you. But yeah, that was kind of like just like that, where that like idea came from. Like not the idea, but like, yeah, the final like name. It was like, oh yeah, because again, it's just like nice to share community art and, you know, and talk about it. And like, yeah, I guess that's about it.
Yeah, for sure. And it, for me as well, it's like being deprived of, and not to frown on that type of music or anything, but it's like being deprived of gadgets, you know, tools, or should I say, those MIDI keyboards and all those sounds. Like that's awesome, and we're looking forward to use that flair in our music as well. But having nothing but your acoustic guitar and a cup of coffee, you know, and ideas,
a little bit of sun, some trees, as simple as that sounds, that makes a huge impact. Like, you know, especially being a person.
Something about songwriting and a lot of my songs that I've brought over, you know, to electric guitar have started by acoustic. There's something about acoustic and songwriting that is just like I still don't understand.
You should see the
and I don't want to understand it in a way.
No, exactly. You don't. No, that's the neat part. And you'd love to see the classical guitar that Nick uses to write his songs. He's got a nice Taylor, but it's always
classical.
But no, he always goes back to the cheap classical guitar to write the songs.
Really?
Yeah. So he's got the Academy Taylor that I showed you, but that's not the one he uses to write his songs. He's got the classical. There's something. It's got a scratch and everything. It's got something for the songwriting. You know, it's funny.
Another question I want to ask you real quick is, what's the future look like? I ask this question to everybody. It's one of, because I'm always wondering like what your aspiration. What does the future look like for Leverage for Mountains or Leverage for Mountains?
Well, it's promising. I can tell you that. I think it's really promising. And with the world right now, what we're going through, I can't tell. And there's this kind of a, you know, if I just stopped caring about it. You just need to distance yourself from because it's frustrating not to know, you know, what's going to happen. And I'm not talking about, you know, results on the album or you know, how things turn out for us. It's more like I'm talking global scale and all that. What's going to happen? We can't really know, right? So I'm excited. I'm really excited. The next 2 months for me are going to be wicked. Like, I'll be playing in different bars 3 nights a week.
Nice.
And I'm finishing up the session with my students, so their show is coming up as well. It's going to be crazy. And then for the album in September, I think it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. How the people are going to receive it, I don't know. And will they be wearing masks? I don't know. Will there be a limit? You know, so it's promising. I want to touch some wood there. So I don't want to make it too bold of a statement and jinx it. So, you know, I'm very excited. I'll stick to that.
I love
awesome.
that.
And by the way, I'd love to come back and have
Well,
a
that's
chat.
what I was gonna
Anytime.
say
Would love
too.
to do
Like,
a
I
writing
mean,
room with you.
Yeah, no, definitely
'Cause
come
we touched
back.
the surface.
I know you have a lot. You have a lot to bring to the table, man. It's really interesting to listen to your perspective. And yeah, we honestly want to thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts for you to take the time out of your day to come on. And
It's a
I absolutely agree.
we're
It's been
definitely
a
gonna get you
pleasure,
back
man.
100%.
Thanks so much, guys.
And honestly, at the end of the day, just to wrap it up, like that passion thing you were talking about, I think that's the best part is like you don't really know what's going to happen. So just like keep the passion alive, keep enjoying what you're doing, and just try to like make the world a better place.
Exactly.
I think you guys are hardworking, man. You know, proof is in the pudding at the end of the
Absolutely.
day. Doesn't matter what you know.
And if it's not this one, it's going to be the next one. You don't
Nobody
know,
can
right?
take that away
Exactly.
from you, man.
Yeah.
You just do you, and you don't really, you don't care about what people fucking
But
think.
I kind of
And-
let it get to me, without dragging on because we got to wrap this up.
No worries.
But like, there was a time I used to let it get to me. The uncertainty of the world and all that. It's like, what are you gonna do? So I kind of let that go, and it's for the better, really.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, it's frustrating not to know, especially when it comes to events, right? Because that's where we're in the entertainment industry,
Oh yeah,
right? So
I know what you mean.
so not knowing what will be the rules and how are they gonna, change the game and the limits, masks and all that. So yeah, it's frustrating, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, just hope for the
being-
best and keep.
aside from being just more frustrated.
Yeah.
How's that gonna change anything? So
I'll just keep
like-
making music.
create more music,
Create.
man. Spread that positivity.
exactly.
Jérémie Trépanier, thank you so much for coming on to our podcast today.
Thank you, brother.
Everybody who's listening, audio or visual, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Like our stuff, maybe don't like it, but probably like it. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace out.
Peace and love, everybody. Cheers.